New friends, new opportunities, new partners. EG Tax.
Hello everybody, I'm Esther Golias, the Tax Lady from EG Tax, and this is Ask the Tax Lady, and we're glad that you're joining us. We're going to talk today about business and business taxes, and of course this show, we don't have live phone-ins, but we use your emails to answer all those pressing questions that you bring to us. Now on Saturdays at 3 o'clock on WBEN Radio 930, we answer your tax questions live, so whichever show you're interested in. If you'd like to be on air, join us on Saturdays as well. But we are going to teach you so much about taxes so that you don't overpay, and that's our goal. And I'm joined in studio this week with Tiffany Fabian.
Hello, Esther.
And Christopher Fabian.
Hello there.
And our district manager, Maria Rickard.
Hello, Esther.
And she's not only our district manager, but she's like the head of our bookkeeping and accounting department. So she knows everything about business and business taxes, which can really, we want to keep you out of trouble, and we want to make sure that they don't overpay, right?
Yes.
So Maria, we do full bookkeeping services and
Payroll,
accounting and
yes.
payroll services, right?
Yes, we do. Yep.
And you're the boss.
I am the boss. Thank you very much.
She even takes it home and does
Oh,
it at home.
and she does a wonderful job. I will tell you, our bookkeeping services are just absolutely great. If you're somebody that can't get your stuff together, Maria will set you up. She'll teach you how to do, if you want to do it yourself, QuickBooks.
We use QuickBooks mostly. We also have Peachtree too to teach people on that if they like it better. So they can come in with anything that they need. We can show them how to work on their QuickBooks. If they have QuickBooks Online, we can show them how to get that set up and everything too. I would prefer it rather be a desktop than QuickBooks Online, because online actually brings in more problems because it's bringing in their banking reports on top
yeah,
of
I
everything
know,
else.
for example, I just helped a gentleman, he's a truck driver, he's a self-employed truck driver, and he got audited, and all of his books were a mess. And so we brought it into the audit, and he lost. And so now we're trying to back into correcting him,
Right.
and it's a real pain. And so had he done it the right way,
The first
from the-
time.
Well, hey, isn't that how life is?
Well, then
Had
that
we
would-
all done it the right way,
Right.
They
right?
wouldn't need us
We,
then, right?
but I mean, and that's what we want to do, is we want to help you. If you're sitting home, I can think of, remember the guy with the horses?
Oh my gosh.
how can you forget the guy with the horses?
Because when he came in and I was doing his tax return, and he had pulling stuff out, and I said, wait, we can't do a tax return like this. Here's our bookkeeping book, fill it out. And he went home and he filled out everything, and ultimately he got audited. Thank God he had his bookkeeping book, because doing it on tax day is not a good thing. First of all, you're going to miss some of your receipts if you have them, and the bookkeeping services that we offer is so great. And so we'll either do a little or a lot.
Whatever each client has got their own wants and needs. So whatever they come in and they sit down with me and they tell me exactly what it is that they're looking for. I have one full-blown bookkeeping where I pay all their bills and all their payroll, and I do everything for them. So they just
they must be very busy folks.
Yes, very,
Yes.
very busy. We pick up all their mail, we pay their bills and everything. We keep track of everything for them. Then we have other ones that just want me to do their payroll. So they want to take care of their own books and receipts.
And really, we don't want, we're not here to drum up a great big bill for somebody. We don't
Correct.
want them to have to incur a big expense. We just want to tailor it to what works for your business. And if you don't mind doing the addition and doing the plugging, that's great.
Right.
But if you're somebody who says, I just can't deal with it, I know if I deal with it, I'll end up going to jail, then we're there for you, right?
Exactly.
I mean, wouldn't you say the biggest fault of most businesses, small businesses, they don't do their bookkeeping? Or
No,
they
and
wait
they bring
just
all
till
the
tax
receipts
time
at
and
the end, and then they throw you a big bag at the end and say, I didn't do anything. And then I look at them saying, well, it's
little
going to
busy.
take me a little while. You've given me a whole year's worth of stuff to go through. I can't get this done. Then it causes an extension. And then during that time, we're trying to get all their books together and get the extension done at the same time. Then they're coming up with more receipts and more receipts.
Right.
So it's never done.
You
It's
can never close it off.
done.
And
The
probably
other
will
thing
shoot
is when
themselves in the
when you're a business, there are certain things that the state of New York and federal government requires that you have. Like for instance, I know a lot of times when I'm talking to small businesses, they'll say, "Oh, and I'll say, do you have employees? I'll say, oh, I pay people on 1099s. You can't just go ahead and do that kind of stuff, because those are violations of law. All right, well, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. We're talking about emails and business taxes, and we're here to help you. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with Maria and your email questions.
Come spend the day and shop your favorite stores at the McKinley Mall. We have fashion fun for all ages at Old Navy. Best Buy has electronics, computers, appliances, movies, and more. Find great deals shopping for that perfect outfit at American Eagle, Hollister, JCPenney, Express, and The Gap. At Ulta Beauty, you'll find a great selection of cosmetics and fragrances to choose from. Stop into Barnes & Noble for the best selection books.
Attention real estate investors thinking of selling investment property? Pay no tax. Call R.J. Gullo Companies, qualified intermediaries for 1031 exchanges and real estate investment specialists. For a free consultation on how to pay no tax when selling investment properties, call 675-1500 or visit us online at rjgullo.com. Call 675-1500 or online at rjgullo.com.
Hey, this is Esther, and let me tell you how great it is to have an insurance agent like Nationwide's Bill Barber. Bill's 40-plus years experience has saved me money on my premiums and potential claims. Have an insurance question, problem, or crisis? Bill will work with you personally without calling an overseas customer service number. All I can say is whenever I need someone on my side, I'm glad to have Nationwide's Bill Barber.
For all your insurance needs, call the Bill Barber Agency at 688-2199. Call 688-2199 today.
Nationwide is on your side.
JD Sound is Buffalo's most professional and unique entertainment source for bar mitzvahs, weddings, private parties, and much more. At JD Sound Buffalo, every event is personally customized with the best lighting and sound to make it unforgettable. To contact JD Sound Buffalo, call 716-908-2633 or email jdsoundbuffalo@gmail.com and visit our website, jdsoundbuffalo.com. Check out our social media, pictures, information, and much more.
I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady, and this is Ask the Tax Lady. And this segment of the show, we're going to talk about business taxes, and that's why we have Maria Rickard, our district manager, and she heads up our bookkeeping and accounting department and payroll department too. So we're going to talk about your emails, and of course we have Christopher and Tiffany Fabian here. We're going to jump in. So we're going to talk about emails. And Mr. Bill, what's our first question?
Yes, Sandy writes us from Lockport. I'm starting a new business and would like some advice on what I should do to go forward from now. Should I incorporate it? And if so, what kind of corporation? And any other advice you might have.
Okay, what do you think, Maria?
Well, depends on really her type of business that she wants. If it's just a startup business, I wouldn't go full-fledged into a corporation right away. I would check out to see what other options she might have. There's just doing a DBA, small business. She can do an LLC, which is like a corporation, but it's more it's just a protection like a corporation, but it's still a DBA. Go forward from there, take on some responsibilities, look into...
The first thing I think of when you incorporate or become an LLC is that you're protecting your own assets.
Right.
And so when you incorporate or become an LLC, they can't touch your own personal assets. It's like the corporation is its own entity, and that's what they can touch.
Correct. Yeah.
And I'll tell you, in our societies anymore, it's like we were talking the other day about a lady that's becoming a dog walker. Who would think that a dog walker would need protection? But God forbid their $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 dog runs away, gets hit by a car, and poof, you get a lawsuit.
Or what if
you
they
got an
dog bite
LLC
someone?
that solves everything?
Right, they can only go after the company's assets. They
And
can't go after
there aren't
their
too
own
many
person.
assets in a dog walking
And
business,
so
one would assume.
What's the difference between an LLC and an incorporation?
Well, that's a good question. An LLC is taxed like a DBA.
Okay.
Except they just have the coverage, like you said, as a corporation where
Okay.
they don't go after their assets. So you would just file a Schedule C for all your business income and expenses. A corporation is its own identity altogether.
Okay.
It files its own tax return, and it will spit out a profit and loss
LLC is a single owner.
single owner.
Okay.
A corporation can be a single owner
Yeah.
also too,
Yeah.
but in a
But it's
corporation-
considered a disregarded entity, correct?
Right.
So in an LLC, it's considered a disregarded entity. In other words, it's listed, it's a limited liability company, but it's not taxed as its own entity.
Okay.
It's taxed as if you're an individual, so it's called a disregarded entity. I don't understand why they have to use those big words. Nobody understands it, but it gives you the protection, and it doesn't really cost
And
you much
Also,
to do it.
an LLC isn't just for single owners. It's technically a partnership.
That's true.
But lawyers have created LLCs for single
Single owner.
owners, so that's why they came up with the term disregarded
Right, entity.
entity, because it's not the entity of a partnership,
Right.
but you still have the protection
Right.
of the.
So that's what we'd suggest. And the other thing you want to make sure that she would do is, this girl from Lockport, is that she wants to make sure that she checks to make sure that she's in compliance with all the ordinances. In other words, does she need liability insurance? Is she going to have employees? Does she need workers' comp? Does she need to register with
tax.
New York State to do the sales tax? All of those kind of things, because at tax time is not the time to say, oh, I was supposed to collect sales tax all year round.
And if she's going to have employees and collect sales tax, she has to get a tax ID number, and so she wants to do all those pieces and parts.
And of course, we'll be very happy to
Just
help her
have
get set up.
come in and we
Right?
can sit down, we can go over everything and help her in
Yeah.
whatever direction she feels like
Cool.
going.
All right, Mr. Bill, what do we got? Other question?
Yes, I have an email here from Marcia from Lancaster. She writes, last year I suffered a large fire and lost thousands and thousands of dollars, and right now I'm going to close the business. Is there anything I should do from this standpoint?
Well, you know, to get very technical here, you first got to find out, does she have insurance? Because everybody says, well, I lost everything, but then you find out that they got $250,000 in insurance, and that kind of made them whole. So the first thing you have to do is, really, did you suffer a loss after the insurance? I mean, it may have devastated your heart, it may have made you feel really bad, but financially is what the IRS is looking at, right? So, but if this person did suffer that kind of a loss, then it would be a business
47,
casualty.
yep.
And it'd be a 4797 loss, which would be an ordinary
And,
loss.
You know, but you first got, if it's self-employed person, what were the assets? Because if it's a corporation, there could be more.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Oh, that is true. So she would have a business casualty loss on a corporation versus a business casualty loss on a personal. So you
Correct.
really got to find out what the nature of the business was. What was the entity of the business?
And then not to mention, she could be experiencing an NOL, which is something she could carry back or carry
So
forward.
let's talk about an NOL. Let's say that this was a sole proprietorship, lost everything, and the adjusted basis, because we got to go with adjusted basis, was let's say $200,000, and she lost everything. All right.
Okay.
And there was no insurance. So, just to make math easy, when she goes forward and she carries that $200,000 loss against her other income, if that's all she had, she would have a net operating loss with a little more than $200,000 because of standard deduction, personal exemption. So the net operating loss basically says you were in a negative position all year, and so the Internal Revenue Service says, so we feel sorry for you. We're going to allow you to take this loss against previous year's returns or carry it forward so that we can make you whole again. And so that is what this person would do.
You can go back to 2 years prior.
Right.
Or carry it forward 20 years.
Right.
And that's where you don't need a crystal ball, because you know what happened in the
Last
past.
year. So if last year she had $100,000, just to make things easy, $100,000
Profit.
AGI, right?
Yep.
She basically is going to plop that $200,000 against it, and now she still has a $100,000 net loss carry back again,
Yep.
which can go to
Yep.
the year before.
You go
right?
back to 2,
Right.
then the 1.
And if she had a
then-
$100,000 net profit that year, it wipes it out and she's whole, right?
Yes.
You amend those
Do you know
returns.
anybody else that this happened to had a net operating loss?
President-elect to
Mr.
be.
Trump.
Mr.
President
Trump,
Yeah.
right, because he lost $1 billion, I
Yeah.
think it was
Yep.
$1 billion, and so he had the net operating loss. Well, obviously, 200,000 is a whole bunch different than $1 billion,
Yeah.
but that's why he was carrying it back
But-
and then forward.
You see this. Look at what just happened last fall with North Carolina and Georgia
Yep.
and Florida with that
Flooding.
hurricane that
Yep.
came through.
Yep. Yep.
How many small businesses got wiped out?
Small and people with rental property.
So it's
You
not
don't think
something
about-
scandalous, right?
You don't think that rental property is a business, but it is. If you have a profit motive, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if they have insurance.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
Mr. Bill, do we have another one, sir?
Yes, we do. Rita from Niagara Falls, really close by here. says, I'm working for a small business and they pay us in what they call a 1099. And my friends say that's not right. Shouldn't it be a W-2?
And that's true. We're going to tell you the answer to that on the other side of our break. We'll be right back.
JD Sound is Buffalo's most professional and unique entertainment source for bar mitzvahs, weddings, private parties, and much more. At JD Sound Buffalo, every event is personally customized with the best lighting and sound to make it unforgettable. To contact JD Sound Buffalo, call 716-908-2633 or email jdsoundbuffalo@gmail.com. And visit our website, jdsoundbuffalo.com. Check out our social media pictures, information, and much more.
Attention real estate investors. Interested in buying or selling multifamily investment property? Call R.J. Gullo Companies, qualified intermediaries for 1031 exchanges and real estate investment specialists. For a free opinion of value on your multifamily investment property, call New York State's premier multifamily realty company at 675-1500 or visit us online at rjgullo.com. Call 675-1500 or online at rjgullo.com.
Hey, this is Esther, and let me tell you how great it is to have an insurance agent like Nationwide's Bill Barber. Bill's 40-plus years experience has saved me money on my premiums and potential claims. Have an insurance question, problem, or crisis? Bill will work with you personally without calling an overseas customer service number. All I can say is whenever I need someone on my side, I'm glad to have Nationwide's Bill Barber.
For all your insurance needs, call the Bill Barber Agency at 688-2199. Call 688-2199 today.
Nationwide is on your side.
People often ask me, why should I use EG Tax? Why shouldn't I do it myself? First of all, our prices are 50% lower than our national competitors, and we're staffed with qualified licensed tax professionals. We know how the tax laws work for you. Secondly, when you hit submit, unless you're a trained tax person, you never know what you put on your tax return. Taxes are extremely complicated, but when you partner with EG Tax, you have someone in your corner. This year, come join our family.
I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax, and we're going to answer the question that was just posed before the break. So, if somebody's getting paid on a 1099, is that good, Maria?
No, not at all.
Not necessarily.
No, but you also have to remember, is this person in her own business? If she has her own business, then she would get paid a 1099. But if she's actually working for the company as just a regular employee and being told what time to be there, what she has to do, when to leave, the responsibilities, she is not a 1099. She is a W-2 employee.
Okay, but let's say that's what she's getting, though. She's getting a 1099. What can she do? What recourse does she have?
She has the ability to file on her tax return to state that she is considering herself an employee.
And actually treat that income as W-2
as a
income.
W-2.
Yeah.
She'll pay the self-employment. Oh, she won't pay.
She'll pay her part of the FICA.
But then the IRS will have her fill out a form that'll go after the
Pretty
employer
cool.
that they have to pay the other
Right,
half.
there's
Right,
an
but now to me,
SS8.
right, but here's the thing. If you don't like the employer, this would be a good thing to get him, right? But if you like the employer, maybe what I would suggest you do is you go into him and say, gee, I just watched Ask the Tax Lady last night, and she was saying, like, I think I'm an employee, and you're supposed to pay me on a W-2. And
That's
and
one
I
of those
have,
come to Jesus moments.
yeah,
you
and
call them.
I have the option to like blow you into the Internal Revenue Service, and I don't want to do that. And so, do you think maybe we could get EG Tax on the phone so they can explain it?
Right.
Because that's what should happen.
Right, and didn't we just had an audit for somebody that we're mailing out 1099s? Both the IRS and New York State came back looking at that. IRS said yes, they were 1099s, but New York State came back and said no, they're not their employees. And we were going to court with that, stating, well, here's the IRS determination. What makes you better than the IRS? And
Did that ever get settled?
We're still at court for the state side.
And then don't forget, there's actually guidelines and rules to help you decide if you're a 1099 person or a W-2. You can look at, the IRS has great information, or you can, does your employer tell you when to go, where to go, what hours you're going to work?
Provide you the equipment.
Provide you the equipment, give you a place.
A lot of things. Can you substitute yourself? In other words, if you're my employee, and you should be paid on a W-2, but I'm paying you on a 1099, which is not good, and can you just say to your son, go in and do mom's
Not.
job tomorrow? You can't substitute,
Impossible.
So that's your situation. If you find that you're getting paid on a 1099 and you are really thinking you should be on a W-2, and by the way, you are getting the short end of the stick if you are paid on a 1099. You can't collect unemployment. You're paying both parts
then
of the
what if they're hurt on the
FICA.
job?
If you get hurt on the job, you can't get workers' comp.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that everything is done correctly for you. I had a client one time, this reminds me of it. She was working for a business and she was getting paid $4.50 an hour. And I said, that you're getting paid below minimum wage. She said, well, my employer said he's not going to pay minimum wage. And I said, minimum wage is the law, and it's the
Hourly
minimum
wage.
wage you can get paid. So she went back to her employer and said, because I typed up a letter for her, and I said, gee whiz, New York State could come after you, and you'd get all
Imagine
these
an hour.
fines and penalties. So he gave her a raise. So
Oh, how
now
nice.
she is making minimum wage. So, I mean, that's part of what we do. We will help negotiate with the employer because we're really on everybody's side. We just don't, the penalties and fines you would get if you're an employer doing things incorrectly would knock out any benefit that you think that you did doing it incorrectly.
Just for New York State not having workers' comp you're already looking at $10,000 to $50,000 a year just for not having
And
comp.
that could really ruin
That
a vacation,
Shut
couldn't
the
it?
doors. That
Oh,
can close
okay.
you right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Bill, do we got another one here?
Kevin from Marilla writes, I'm an outside sales rep and I have use of my own laptop and cell phone for use in my business. Can I write them off?
Yeah, you can use your laptop, your cell phone for business. You just have to prorate it for your business use. Is it 50%? Is it 80%? Is it 100%? And I can tell you right now, going on audits, the IRS never likes 100%. Maybe for laptops, if you can prove you have different laptops, but cell phones,
But you
they
better
will
not have
never
your
take.
personal email account on there
That's
or
right.
some video games, right?
That's
Yeah,
right.
and so to clarify, I think Chris is saying you could take it on your Schedule C, your business return, your corporation, or you could take it on your personal return on a 2106. So absolutely. And don't forget, if you buy a new cell phone or if you buy a new laptop, you can do the same thing too. So,
Right.
which is really exciting.
Okay. Anything else that anybody
On
wants to
that
say?
one?
Well,
All right.
I guess I was thinking for Kevin too, don't forget about an office and home too. If there's a room in your house that you solely and exclusively use as an office, don't forget to take that. You can take indirect expenses and direct expenses against that office and home. So,
And again, it has to be, you have to be performing services that you aren't doing if you're an employee
Right.
at home that you can't do at the office.
That's right.
All
That's
right,
right.
Mr. Bill, what do we got?
Yes, Kevin from, that was the last one. Let me look. Tabitha from Batavia writes, my husband and I have a small business and we're thinking of hiring our kids. Would that be great? Would my kids have to pay taxes? Would I have to pay them in any different kind of way? Can I use cash or what should I do?
wages. So this is wages in kids.
Well, kids can be hired, but you have to also follow the same rules of how old are they? You got to know how many hours they're allowed to work. It's different when it's in a family restaurant or a family-owned business
Yeah.
anyways. There's a lot of different rulings on that. So to be able to do everything, correctly, you want to look up what New York State's guidelines are for having minor children.
Because they can
working
only
in your
work so
business.
many
Right.
hours.
Correct.
But
a week.
the thing is, there is a benefit. If you truly are self-employed and the kids are actually performing a service, then that's a way of keeping the money in the family, and it is a tax deduction. And you don't have to pay the FICA
That's
if they're
right.
under the age of 18. 18 or under. Or is it 21?
I thought it was 16.
16.
I think it's 18. But I'll look it up while you guys
Got the
talk.
quick finder.
All right. Yeah.
But that's how many people do you see that do that? And I can guarantee you a lot of them are probably paying their children under the table, which they could get in trouble too for paying their children under the table.
That's right.
Because come tax law, there is no such thing as under the table.
children under the age of 21. We were both wrong.
How did you do that so quickly? You
Because
must-
I know the Bible.
I know, but
I know the Bible.
That's why we did a class this year using the Quick Finder.
Yep, that's right. I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. If you have any business, accounting, tax needs, if you have a tax question, EG Tax is there to help you. You can go to our website at egtax.com, and we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back on the other side.
Attention! Are you interested in using your existing retirement account to buy and sell real estate tax-free? Call R.J. Gullo Companies, qualified intermediaries for 1031 exchanges and real estate investment specialists. For a free consultation to buy and sell real estate tax-free through the use of a self-directed IRA or a solo 401k, call 675-1500 or visit us online at rjgullo.com. That's 675-1500 or online at rjgullo.com.
Hi, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady. Thanks for joining us on Ask the Tax Lady. We're on every Tuesday here on WBBZ for half hour answering your emails. And again, if you want to be part of that, you can go to our website at egtax.com. If you want to be on the air, like where you hear your voice, we're live on WBEN at 3 to 4 o'clock, 9:30 a.m. on Saturdays. And so then you can ask your tax questions so everybody in Buffalo and Western New York can hear you. Or you can just call us and we'll be very happy to help you. If any, yes, sir.
I was going to say also like us on Facebook.
We would like you to like
us
us.
on Facebook. You get the tax tips, and you could even ask us questions through Facebook.
And a chance to
that's
win
true.
a free tax return.
Go on our website, and there's a link there that you can ask tax questions.
Right.
You can sign up for the business solutions, healthcare.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good information.
Well, and
on
that's
our
true. So
website.
we not only have, I think Tiffany did a commercial one time that said we do taxes, we help you with your health
We thought
care,
about doing
we'll
oil
do your
changes.
bookkeeping, we do your payroll. If you get audited, we help you with audits at no charge.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go all the way to tax court, no charge. You like the thing you were with New York State? No charge. We have a wonderful guarantee. We're there to help you. And you were saying maybe we're going to do oil changes, but we should stick to what we know. But again, if anybody is sitting home, it's tax time. You know your receipts are in a mess. They can bring them to Maria, who has no spare time this time of year. But we will get.
We'll
you
get
know,
her
one
done.
thing we get her done.
We
Don't
get
we
her
get her
done.
done?
She's got a great staff. that
Yeah, and
works
we have a
behind
great
her.
staff. So no matter what you need, if you're a small business owner, if you're somebody that has a sole proprietorship, if you're an employee and you think that what we said about being paid on a 1099 affects you, we'll help you to negotiate with your employer so that they get straight.
If you haven't filed your corporate return in years, the penalties could be astronomical. They won't go away. Get them done, and we could help work on them as
Yeah,
well.
we do multiple year returns. We do all year. As a matter of fact, we do all states as well.
Correct.
Right?
Maria started saying something.
Yeah.
We also have to remind the business owners too, for those who think that not giving out 1099s because they want to be nice to their employees is going to be beneficial. But you got to remember, it's going to hurt them too. So we want to work on both sides, not just the employees, but we want to help the employers also.
Yeah.
So
And sorry, before we run out of time, big change. Don't forget, partnership returns this year are due March 15th,
Very good
not
point.
April 15th like
And
it
there's
used to
big
be.
penalties for
Very
being
good
late.
point.
I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady from EG Tax. If you need help, go to egtax.com. Visit us at any of our local 33 offices. We want to help you. We love you. And this team is behind you. Until next week, I'm Esther Golias, the tax lady, with Chris Fabian, Tiffany Fabian, and Maria Rickard. Thanks for joining us.